Okay, there's something that I want to talk about, and it landed a few days ago. Project Rabbit is very interesting, and I have been keeping my eyes on it. Now that it's finally revealed, and I actually have time to sit down and talk about it, I'm going to. So, but first, I want to watch the trailer. So,
Shh. Be careful. I chased the white rabbit, and when I woke up, I was in a completely twisted world.
damn, that trailer was something. Okay, I want to try and dissect it, starting from the beginning.
I was in a completely.
So, I'm just gonna say it. This draws a lot of parallels to Liza P. Reminds me of, Hotel Krat. This is obviously, as you can see, developed by Nova Flare Games, a South Korean game studio, and that's important because that's also where NeoWiz and Round 8 Studios are. They're also South Korean. Anything that seems to come out of the East has just been absolute bangers. Where Winds Meet. I mean, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. It's not the best, but it definitely is better than what we've gotten most. A lot. There's Black Myth Wukong, obviously Liza P. We've been getting a lot of good games, and another game out of the East is so good. What we need right now, as you can tell, with the Project Rabbit and what we just saw, I chased the white rabbit.
And when I woke up, I was in a completely twisted world.
This is very clearly Alice in Wonderland. So an East meets West type of ordeal. And I'm here for it. I want to see what they can do. Like, what do we got going on? And just what else is happening with this?
Rabbit.
Oh, whoops.
Shh. Twist.
Oh,
Be
whoops.
careful. I chased the white rabbit, and when I woke.
So it looks like that this is just clearly the rabbit hole leading to whatever dimension that we're going into. Well, Wonderland. Um, honestly, it's nice. We get to see that new take on it, but very clearly the rabbit hole, metaphorically speaking, that she ends up falling down to get into Wonderland.
I was in a completely twisted world.
You can't tell me this isn't Liza P esque, with all of this architecture. I don't know what in time period it's inspired by, because Liza P is Belle Epoque, France, if I remember correctly. This it's hard to not draw parallels. Bloodborne also exists. Also, something I want to say is right now I'm looking at this, and I am seeing something I like, which is its art style. It has a really great art direction that I absolutely just love. Looks like a lot of iconography and symbology with rabbits, which is important because the white rabbit is a main part of Alice in Wonderland. Obviously, we get what I'm gonna heavily guess is Alice. A unique take on her, but obviously, it has to be with this type. Um, I don't know. Guess I like it, but I'll have to wait and see. Not bad so far. We're in a foggy wooded area, So I wonder how this is gonna play into the story. Obviously, if you didn't know, this is a extraction Souls like RPG, and I don't know how I feel about that. Obviously, I'm willing to give it a shot. I want to give it a shot because something new in this. We haven't had really an extraction Souls like in a while, so or at all. Period. So I'm willing to see how this works. I'm willing to see how this works. Wow, I haven't. It's been a minute since I've consumed Alice in Wonderland, so I don't remember. But I think there was a tree in there. This is probably that tree. Or maybe it's the tree where she fell on the rabbit hole or something like that. I can't remember. But I do know that this tree is significant in a way. So nice that we got that. Why am I getting Eastern architecture vibes here? Duh, it's made in the East. This is what you get for being an idiot. But again, I can't help but draw parallels to Lies of P. There was a lot of horses and buggies, not to mention Bloodborne, a similar thing. But I'm nitpicking the shit here. There was a dinner there, and I do remember it. Obviously we got the White Rabbit. So far I like what I'm seeing here. Or we got Rabbit's iconography, so that's good. What that? That's an eyeball, by the way. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, I have no idea what that is supposed to be. I wish we knew. Okay, so apparently this is Alice from the front, as we can see. Or I'm gonna guess is Alice. Oh boy. Honestly, I like the design. It's definitely screaming one thing. Direction and art style and uniqueness. It's not hyper realistic, which I'm absolutely all in for. I hate hyper realistic games that just like, oh hey, here hyper realistic graphics because that's what you want, right? I'm not saying it's wrong or it's bad, but the problem with hyper realistic graphics is that everything at the end of the day just ultimately feels the same, looks the same, doesn't actually stand out. That's why I'm absolutely clamoring for this game to just hopefully have a unique art style that isn't hyper-realistic slop. I don't mind hyper-realistic, but ultimately, if it means, we get a more unique and individualized art style at the cost of a less intensive game, or how do I say this, a less bigger game, meaning the file size isn't fucking massive, as well as a unique and individualized art style that encapsulates the soul and the identity of the studio within it, I am all for it, and I want it. So, average Souls-style combat with dodges and rolling. That is one hell of a combo. I just hope that there's no fucking frame traps. So, just right there. Can I slow it down? Slow it down. Come on. There's the parrying mechanic right there. You see it, the flash. Yes. We have normal and parry. I'm definitely glad that more games are encapsulating a parry mechanic into them instead of just the traditional dodge rolling. Not that parrying wasn't in, the original Dark Souls, but it wasn't a focus as, say, dodging was, whereas like Lies of P and Sekiro, along with the Jedi games, are parry focused. You can block and dodge, but there are a lot more benefits you get from parrying, so I hope that that's able to be encapsulated into the game well. Another parry. So is this with this being an extraction shooter, is this gonna be PvP or is it gonna be like PvE? I don't know. I kind of want to see because this looks to be like maybe another playable character or just an NPC. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So a phase transition, I'm guessing. Honestly, I didn't see too much else that stood out other than just like the gameplay looks fine. It looks like a standard Souls-like gameplay. Um, so yeah, parrying is in this game. I don't know if it's gonna be a focus, but I'm just glad it is. And yeah, obviously we get the potion from that she drinks at one point with what looks to be just a live rabbit head in there. Cool. Um, honestly, there's not a whole lot we can determine from this, and I wish that there was more. I wish I could say that there's more. This game looks fucking amazing with a unique art style that isn't hyper realistic and focused on individuality and identity. Thank you. Um, again, I can't help but draw parallels to Lies of P. I want to make this very distinct. This is not Lies of P2. This is drawing from the same inspiration or similar idea that Lies of P is, where an East meets West type of a deal with Lies of P focusing on Pinocchio, um, Carlo Collodi's 1887 story, and this is working on Alice in Wonderland, which is very, very, again, similar style where it's like an old fairy tale brought into a modern scope with Liza P2 supposedly focusing on the Wizard of Oz. And I kind of, I'm here for it. I want to see it. Now there's like genuine competition coming from the East. Hopefully, the Western game developers finally step up their game because this is looking really good. I don't know how it'll play out. I'm definitely interested. I'm excited. I kind of just have been getting back into like the Souls grind. Maybe I'll go back into Dark Souls and I'll give that a fair shot since I did not give Dark Souls a fair shot. I got bored and I just didn't really push through that. But other than that, yeah, no, this looks really fucking good. I'm really glad we got this. Um, I just hope we don't have to wait long, and this isn't Elder Scrolls where, hey, we announced it 8 years later, it's still not out. But yeah, other than that, that's my brief thoughts on this. I don't really have much to go off of, but so far I like what I'm seeing, and I hope when it's fully revealed, or not fully, more in-depth revealed, um, revealed with more detail. There it is. I like what I see. So, yeah, other than that, that's my thoughts. I appreciate it, and I'll see you later.